Nick.
Yeah.
What's your topic?
Am I taking it home? Is this the fourth topic?
You're taking it home.
Oh, this is fun.
You're the anchor leg. We've passed the baton, and now you're just running.
It's great. I want to talk a little bit about. I want to revisit our kind of our talk that we do every 2-3 months about the current state of television, specifically. When you have a wife, which none of you have.
I used to know that.
They sometimes like to do activities together. Now I know it is what it is, but I do it. One of the activities my wife likes to do is when it's award season, she likes to sit and watch the awards. Now, these awards have not gotten any shorter. In fact, I don't have any science behind this, and Kevin, maybe you can verify this for me. You don't have to on this one, actually. I don't care. They seemingly have gotten longer. And I watched the Emmy Awards yesterday. Not a bad show. But one of those things where you're like, why do we need these?
Ratings were down.
Anymore. You sort of look, and it's the same people that have been in the industry for so long. You're like, I don't know what's going on with that. But then I think back, and I'm like, is it just award shows in general? Because they had the Streamy Awards like a week ago.
Did you watch them?
I did not, but I was watching the channel. I was watching a movie on the channel, which I think was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And every 15 seconds, it was not Hannah Hart. Hannah Hart. No, not Hannah Hart. Who's
Grace?
Grace Helbig and Tyler Oakley, and was like, they're like, hey, we're hosting this thing, and I'm like, I don't know what this thing is. I don't know what I finally want to watch this thing. I don't even know how that did at all. But
the metrics are so much different for their success, right?
Are they?
Because it was streaming. And
I mean, one you're talking
Did
about
they do
Fox,
well?
and it's this thing that's gone on forever, and then the other's just the streamies.
I don't know.
I have no idea how they did, but I'm sure they did.
Wasn't it on VH1?
Yeah, it was on
It was
VH1.
Which makes it different because it's cable.
Yeah.
So I guess my question to you guys is like, where are you at with television right now? Because where are we at
we're
with
talking about
award
shows,
right?
Well, award shows in general, award shows. I'm sorry. Let me tie this back in. The Emmy Awards specifically are for TV, and I realized last night that I'm like, I don't watch any of these shows.
Sure.
I watch Game of Thrones.
Mad Men.
I watched Mad Men and Walking Dead, but even then, I don't have that thing I used to have. Whereas I'm not addicted to a show anymore. There's not one show. I'm not saying they're not bad. They're not good shows out there. For The Walking Dead's good. Game of Thrones is still good, but I don't I missed For The Walking Dead last night. I'm like, I'm okay if I don't watch it for like another week or two. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not addicted like I was to Lost or. Actually, Lost is a perfect example. The first 2 seasons of Lost, I was like, this is amazing. Like, I'm in love with these characters, and I'm like genuinely worried for their safety, even though I'm a 26-year-old man who understands that this is a television show. I don't know. Are you guys addicted to anything right now? Is there anything on the horizon that you like? And
I mean, no.
Crack.
Game of Thrones still.
Yeah.
I like that.
And so would you ever even come close to watching the Emmy Awards?
Well, so that's the thing. Like, talking about award shows.
Yeah, stop jumping tracks. If we're talking about award shows, there's a whole bunch to say.
All right, well, let's talk about award shows.
Okay, yeah, they suck and they're stupid.
Okay.
I mean, like
topic over.
The point of it, I think back in the day, and even with Oscars and all this other stuff, is the fact that I think that they're there as a method of discovery. This has won this award. Mm-hmm. You didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. And now, shows that are cleaning up and winning are shows you already know are great. So why do you fucking care about this?
I think it's just to give the people doing stuff credit.
I get that, and I like that. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the industry paying it back to each other. Of like, we are all in this together, and we think John Hamm is the best actor. That's awesome. But as somebody who just watches and consumes the content, I consume what I like already. I don't need tastemakers. Yeah. It's them struggling with what the world has become, and the fact that I get mad every Sunday when people start tweeting about Walking Dead 3 hours before I watch it because it's aired in New York. And I'm like, fuck, why can't I just get one AMC, or why can't I pay AMC right now to get it? Because I'd rather watch it right now than 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need the barriers to my content anymore. With the flip being the fact that movies are still different, right? Like, I still pay attention to what's winning the Oscars or whatever. I won't watch it because who the fuck wants to watch a fucking 4-hour award show anymore? But I'll pay attention to the winners and losers because it's not on demand, easy access. Everything's right there. Instead, it's like, oh sure, what were the nominees? What won? When I see them come through Amazon Prime or Netflix in 8 years, I want to watch them.
My thing with award shows, whether it's music stuff, music videos like VMAs or Emmys or Grammys or any of the stuff, it's like I'm in it for very specific things. I want to see the random stupid shit people say or do.
Yeah.
I want to
Kanye.
Yeah. I want to know the winners. And I wanted to see the music performances and whatever ridiculous set piece things they do, like the intros to the shows and like the end of it or whatever.
The production.
Like, all the crazy production and shit. And it's like now there's this thing called BuzzFeed that you go to literally as the award show's happening, or better off, the next day. You read 3 articles that have GIFs or videos of all the things you need to see, and you're like, cool, I didn't waste 4 hours of my life. I wasted 5 minutes and I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the internet has completely changed the viewing experience. Like, it's kind of ruled out TV. Like, you don't need TV anymore.
Right.
Everything's on your schedule now that there's the internet. I guess unless it's...
Not when you're married. You watch it live, and you watch it with all the commercials.
That's because it's a bonding
Nice.
experience. It's something
No,
for
it
you guys
was-
to share.
and we had a good time.
You're not going over to play Metal Gear. She's not going to go read a book. You're doing something together. God damn it.
It was good. It was fun. It was actually relatively enjoyable, as they always are. They're never like amazing, right? But they're never, they're kind of just what they are, right? Andy Samberg hosted, and he was pretty funny.
He's a
I
funny
guess.
guy, yeah.
But it was just kind of all vanilla,
But I mean, that's the thing. What's so funny about award shows is like there's the moments where you get to see the people being real. It's cool seeing the Game of Thrones cast as people, just
Yeah.
being people. Having said that, you don't see much of it because the majority of it is two people going up, reading
from
off a teleprompter in some really weird thing that doesn't feel right, and then they show a montage of things, and then someone's awarded something. They give a speech that is replaceable with the next speech, and you just keep kind of moving along. It's like so cookie cutter.
Yeah.
But then that's why it's the moments that go outside of that are worth watching, because those are always fucking cool when people just go off the rails
Sure.
or like say shit or like people trip or like all the good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
In it for the tripping.
It's one of those things.
My question this morning on Colin Moriarty Live about this was like, are award shows going to be here in 5-10 years?
I don't think they will.
I think they will be, but I wouldn't be. I mean, I think the footprint has to get smaller, right? Like, is that really something primetime TV needs to shell out $1 majillion for? No.
I mean, what's interesting to me is the fact that I don't think that any of that stuff necessarily matters. It's more, are people still talking about it? And yes, like
That's a good point.
We have things like Fashion Police and like all these different shows that are pretty much based on award shows. In addition to that, things like BuzzFeed, things like just random internet people that their sole job is making fun of things that are happening. It's like, this is just like, how many people live tweet the VMAs as they're happening, making the jokes they want to make or whatever. Even real comedians, though,
Yeah.
And it's like that's just the way things are going. So whether they're streaming or online, or on TV or both or whatever, I think they're going to keep happening. I think they're just going to change, just like everything else is changing. Will Walking Dead be on TV forever, or will it be on some streaming service? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like it'll still be there.
Makes sense.
Who watches TV?
Not me.
I DVR a lot of stuff.
Okay. So you're the only active TV watcher here.
Once I'm active, I mean, I live in a household that's fairly active. My wife
have
obviously
cable
watches
TV?
a lot of Bravo. We have cable TV.
Okay.
We think every month we see the bill. We talk very heavily for about 5 seconds about whether or not we want to cut the cord. But I don't think we'll ever do that. It's so ingrained in who
Yeah.
I am that I need a cable connection, even though every night it's exactly the same. I turn it on. I flick through the 800 channels. There's nothing on. I go to Netflix. I spend about 35 minutes there curating my watch list. Don't watch anything. And then lately I've just been playing Metal Gear, which has been nice. Or yeah, I'll just go on the internet and just do whatever, go down that rabbit
Do
hole,
other stuff.
which for the most part is what it is. I think my wife gets out of them. Everyone gets something different. Like the same way you get the sort of those fun moments of like, what's Kanye West going to say, or is someone going to trip? My wife likes to look at the fashion. She likes to see people's choices, and she does like to kind of experience what you're talking about, which is how different are these people, are these actors from their characters that they play? Are they, like Peter Dinklage won last night, and it's cool. It's cool watching him talk.
And he was like, "Fuck Bungie, fuck Nolan North."
Yeah, he was. That was the first thing out of his mouth. Then he thanked everyone. He proceeded to thank everyone. I don't know. It's. Back in the day, I used to love watching the Oscars. I never really cared about the Emmys because I'm not a big TV guy, and I still watch the Oscars every year. But it's that thing where I'm like, you can tell they're struggling, and you can tell that these award shows are trying to find a foothold in society, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to stay relevant in mainstream culture. And I mean, rack your brain. How is that going to happen?
It's funny you say this though. Like I feel like they're more relevant than ever.
Yeah, but the ratings are down year after year. Maybe for the Grammys, but for like the Emmys and for the Academy Awards, like. They're fighting to keep ratings up.
I mean, I
and
guess
they
that's the
haven't
thing.
been.
I guess there is a difference between it actually being successful as a thing and just people talking about it. But I think more people are talking about the Emmys than before. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, potentially.
With the internet and stuff, I never heard a single goddamn thing about the Emmys until
There was
maybe
that little
like
thing
3
next
years ago
on
when
Facebook.
when people on social media are talking about it. Like, Lord, no, I'm not watching the Emmys or any of this shit.
Sure.
But now people talk about it. VMAs, duh. Like, that was the thing. People watch that because you're watching MTV, and like that's what dumb kids do.
Well, that was our
Right.
thing, though. I remember feeling like that was the VMAs and the movie awards were like our award show. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there was more goofy shit, and Will Smith was funny during the movie awards and stuff like that.
But now it's like I feel like VMAs and Emmys get equal footing in terms of
Will Smith is lit.
Will Smith is
of
lit.
people.
Well,
like-
right. There was the sort of like you could kind of rank them, right?
Yeah.
Where like the Grammys were sort of on point, I would say, with the Emmys, but the Academy Awards to me are always like that's like the pinnacle of awards, right? If you win the Academy Award, you're like the bomb. And then somewhere down in the bottom is the ones for Broadway. I forgot the Tony Awards. You know, where you're like, I don't even think they televise those, and if they do, Hugh Jackman like always hosts because he's the only person that like
He's the only
is
guy.
notable and can sing. But yeah, I mean, I guess the VMAs that's a perfect example. I'm like, I wouldn't think to watch the VMAs. I would think maybe to watch the Grammys, but the
But I feel like
VMAs
it's because we've aged out of that. Like when people were tweeting about the VMAs, I was like, oh, this is still a thing. I didn't even
But
know
I
this
mean,
was a thing.
everybody was tweeting about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's like the biggest thing is it's like I think more people are talking about any of these award shows now
Yeah.
than they ever were. So maybe the ratings are down, but I don't think that matters because more people are engaging with it.
Well,
the
it-
social media footprint is up.
Yeah.
It
And,
only
like, that's
matters
a-
in so much as that one day they will not be able to physically mount them anymore because they don't have ratings enough to charge for the ads.
Yeah, but maybe they have ads that they're selling on their social media shit because everybody is hashtagging VMAs.
Maybe,
You
maybe.
know? And like you see this, like, well, this is a perfect example actually. MTV for the VMAs, they partnered with Twitter to launch all the new weird Snapchat like features that they're adding to Twitter. So Miley Cyrus was like exclusively using all this new shit and whatever. And it's like that's how the money's being made.
That's true.
So things are just shifting. It's just
Oh,
changing.
interesting.
But,
But
it's
it's-
like these award shows aren't going anywhere.
But what about cultural relevance? Does it matter to you? Like, is it going to get you to watch a television show because it won Emmys? Does that even come close to factoring into your decision making?
No, but I think it does to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think all these stupid awards, like, even though they're like totally, how are these decided? Who knows? Are they fake? Are they rigged? Is
No,
this whatever? It's
they're-
like all this shit.
They're real. They're voted on by the Academy of people who aren't you and me.
I mean, but that's the thing. Is it's like
And I
all right.
think the Emmys and the I know for sure the Academy Awards you have to be you have to be a member of the Academy, which means you have to be in the industry to some degree. I have friends that are actors that are SAG that get to vote and they get screeners and all that stuff. But yeah, it's not normal people who just watch stuff like clicking a button like it probably should be to say like, and that's how you get really crazy movies that are very polarizing that win these things, or television shows that win these things. Like I remember American Hustle won, and I was like, I did not vibe with that film at all. But everyone thought it was the second coming of Christ, and I'm like, really? And it was up against some stiff competition in that year too. But yeah, I don't know. But I guess I just watch them because my wife likes them. She likes to watch the fashion, and then she immediately checks out afterward, and I'm stuck watching 3 hours of people who I've never heard of before who did the music for the new girl, and
Yeah.
it's like that's awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong; like they're doing great work, and they should be honored, and they should be.
This is Robert's second nomination and his first win. As he's like, walking.
Oh, I also like that specifically to kind of make it to keep the fun going. They're like, he wasn't when he found out about this nomination, he wasn't wearing any pants. And you're like, okay, fun little tidbit.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
That made my night.
And that's the other thing too. Maybe to your point, it's like, do we need it just to be an hour? Can it just be like,
Yeah.
do we care about music? Do we care about wardrobe? Do we care about casting? Do we care about any of these things that, granted, all go, and I'm not taking anything away from the people that do these things. They all go into the creative process and are amazing, but don't we kind of just want to see who's going to win the Academy Award for Best Actor and Actress and Best Picture?
But
Like
see,
I-
that's the problem. I mean, what's the point of them happening then? Because then you get things like the Video Game Awards a couple years ago, where everyone's like, "Oh my God, they didn't even talk about all these awards that are like, oh shit. I mean, why weren't those televised?" Then it turns into that whole thing of like, "Oh, at the Grammys, why wasn't the rap and hip hop thing televised? Like this, like why is that not where this thing is?" And it causes all these fucking problems and stuff. If it's the awards, it should be the fucking awards.
Yeah, I mean
right?
that's the problem though. Is they give out like the Academy Awards, they always have that one moment where they're like, "And now let's take a look at."
And it shows a screen
awards
with like
that won
100
last
things.
night.
Yeah, last
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
and it's like a banquet room in like the Beverly Hills Hilton,
Oh my God.
and it's like everyone's in a tux, but it's hosted by like Jennifer Lawrence and one of the other Hemsworth brothers, and you're like, that's cool.
Why are you putting down Jennifer Lawrence? She's a hot
Oh no,
commodity
who was
these
it? No,
days.
it was. I mean, they get good hosts for it.
Okay,
It's cool, but it's one of those things where it's like, damn, that's weird that they couldn't put these in. It's like best technological achievement, all
Sure,
these
sure,
amazing
sure,
things
sure,
that are going into filmmaking that you're like, you just don't think about. But where do you draw the line? And I think in order to make, obviously they usually go a little bit longer, but they're scheduled for like 3 hours. So you're getting 3 hours of programming or what, so they can get their money back on those ads. And it's like, wouldn't it be better if it was like a really tight, just a tight
a brick.
A nice package.
A
package,
brick
an hour and a half.
hour.
That way you don't have to fill with the awkward, hey, those two people had way too much booze behind stage and started reading each other's teleprompter lines.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
but that's the good.
funny.
That's what I'm
I
talking
want.
about. Like
I hate
mean,
that.
like
It's
last
so
night
awkward.
at the Emmys, like the coolest moment that I saw was Amy Poehler and Amy Schumer just together. Why is that cool? just because they're both named
No,
Amy.
don't get,
That's
I
all
love
I
it too.
needed, though.
No, I like celebrating the industries as well. I find myself. I used to be really into it. I used to be like, oh, this is awesome, and now I I don't think it's a matter of my age. I think it's a state of the industry, and this is kind of related back to my original question. Is that I think people are less in tune, no pun intended, with what's going on in television as it relates to cable, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think people are sitting there going, oh man, that guy really won the Saturday night or the Monday night primetime spot. You know, that show's the best. It's like, I don't know when anything's on anymore.
Right? No,
Who
no,
cares?
That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct.
And like in that regard, you know, and it doesn't matter to me if something won an Emmy because most of the shows, I couldn't tell you how many Emmys Mad Men won. I just know I like that show and I'm sad that it's gone, but ended fittingly and it's cool. Also, I don't know if anyone wrote this or not, but dude, was there a giant kerfuffle about the giant spoiler thing that they did on the Emmys yesterday? Did you guys see anything about that?
No, I watched YouTube clips today. I didn't see anything about this. What happened?
Holy shit. They were like, let's take a look at all the shows that have ended. And they showed how every single show ended.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I'm not talking
Fuck
about
you
like
for not watching it.
I'm not talking about like, oh, this is awesome. Like one of the characters like looking like they do with Mad Men. You know, the previous Mad Men were like, what is happening? You're not
it was
telling me
always
anything.
next time on Mad Men. Roger, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know, Joe. What would I do?
No, you're giving it
non-sequential.
You're giving it way too much context. Just say,
No,
what?
no.
I don't know. Huh? I'm scared. I'm pregnant. You know, you just it's like a bunch of just words. You're like this is out of context. No, they showed like the end of Sons of Anarchy, like the last shot. And spoilers, a lot of people like die at the end of a lot of things of shows last year, and they showed all of them. They showed like 13 consecutive shots of like, I'm like, cool, I don't have to watch Sons of Anarchy. I don't have to watch anything on FX. They spoiled everything on that.
To be fair,
They showed they showed the last shot of Mad Men, which again for Mad Men it doesn't matter because you're like, cool, he's just sitting in a yoga retreat in Big Sur. So I don't know what that means, but he smiles. So you're like, oh, he's happy. It was really weird. And December was like, let's take a look. And I'm like, oh my God, if Tim was watching this right now, and I did this, if I made that cut, Tim would be like, no, you can't do that. That's spoilers, man. There's too much. The internet's going to go
The
crazy
internet
with
would
that.
kill you.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Enjoyable, but I think they'll still be around. Yeah, but the interest is it's just whatever. It's
The
just
world's
casual.
changed.
It
It's
is.
time for them to change too.
Yeah. TV.
Andy Samberg, be the change you want to see.
He was funny.
Was he funny?
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
I saw today he was getting Variety was ripping him a new one.
Because
Because he
they
had to
need
be
to.
vanilla. He had to be
That's- yeah.
vanilla.
You could tell he had one or two jokes where I was like, okay, Sandberg wrote that joke. There was one specifically where he was I forget what show he was paraphrasing or he was making fun of, but he went up to the Emmy statue and like buried his head in its ass, and he was like, "Look, I'm on I think like Orange Is the New Black or something like that," because I guess there was a scene like that, and everyone's like, "Whoa, that's really racy," and I laughed my ass off. And I was like, "That's clearly my kind of humor, lowbrow." But everything else was like, "Hey, did you see those white people win a lot of white things? That's great." That was it. It's as
Damn.
racy as it got.
That was still some race. He was throwing race around. He was throwing shade.
He was
Yeah.
turned
He was
bay,
probably
splint.
Turnt Bay.
He was bricked.
This
Splint?
topic.
bricked.
Splint?
Did you say Splint?
Splint.
Splint's a good one too. We should get Splint to take
Oh,
off.
let's do splint.
What
I
does
didn't say
splint
splint.
even
I said a
mean?
bunch of words that kind of sounded like splint.
What would that even? You're being.
Well, so the word splint.
What if she's a good Splint? Like, or it can be anybody. Kevin's a good Splint.
Yeah.
And like he's supportive.
Yeah.
He helps me around.
Yeah, but you're using it the wrong way. You
Yeah.
could say that thing is splint.
It almost sounds a little.
Okay,
derogatory.
this iPad is Splint. This iPad helps me do the show.
Like clutch. It's clutch.
yeah.
All right. Splint.
Splint.
It's clutch.
Splint is better than brick. Seems like it has more applications.
What about splint? It's a combination of Splenda
This
and
topic
spent.
was brought to you by Loot Crate. Grimecraft, you familiar with Loot Crate?
I am.
Would you classify yourself as a geek, gamer, or pop culture nerd?
All of the above.
Then Loot Crate is the subscription box for you. Loot Crate is a subscription box service with more than $40 worth of geek, gamer, and pop culture gear, collectibles, apparel, comics, etc. delivered to your mailbox every month. Make sure you head to lootcrate.com/kindafunny and enter the code kindafunny to save $3 on any new subscription. This month's theme is time, and quite appropriately, we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future in the month and year Marty McFly travels to in Back to the Future 2, which is true.
It is.
I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's a pretty cool idea.
I was looking out for them on that day. What day was it? It was.
You just look out your
15th,
window?
2015.
1985 or 2015.
The timeless appeal of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and
Obviously.
the timey-wimey charm of Doctor Who for you nerds.
It's not 1955.
Basically, Loot Crate is God damn it, Nick. Basically, Loot Crate is like a friend who knows what you love and surprises you with an awesome present every month. Did we mention they shipped over 13 different countries too? You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it, Jack. It's over. I add Jack.
You add
every
the
time.
Jack.
I like to put my spin on it.
Yeah.
My little thing.
Some.
Loot Crate is Splint. Go to lootcrate.com/kindafunny and enter the code kindafunny to save $3 on your new subscription today. Thank you, Loot Crate, as always, for your sponsorship. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this. Thank you, Grimecraft, for coming in.
And thank you guys for letting me come in.
Remember, everyone go to anything.com/Grimecraft. You'll find them.
Or Twitch. Twitch is a good one.
Twitch is, what about SoundCloud? 'Cause you can go there
SoundCloud,
and
yeah.
get your music.
SoundCloud's where you get all my music for free. Twitch is where you watch me every Sunday at 7 p.m. PDT for
You're
my
also
show.
a mod. You're in the Kind of Funny chat room quite a bit. Kind of Funny
Yeah,
games.
I'm a mod. I have a sword. And then, yeah, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter. I'm a pretty funny guy on Twitter, apparently.
I like you a lot.
So, yeah.
I mean, I like you outside of Twitter too. I'm just saying
Oh.
right there. You can buy Grimecraft stickers. How long have you had your hair like this that you have stickers that matter all that are?
Pretty much my entire life.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's
except for
pretty
the
good.
dread time.
Except for the dread time. That's when, like,
Dread
I mean,
time.
dreads are just naturally what happened with my hair.
Mm.
It takes a little bit of effort for it not to dread up.
Mm.
I find dreads very often.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, toss us a couple bucks over on patreon.com/kindafunny. You get every episode early. But if you have no bucks to toss, head to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we break the show up topic by topic, day by day, until we post the entire thing for free as an MP3 and video. Nick, you okay?
It's a nice iPad.
Oh, yeah, you were
That's
using
good.
my iPad for
Yeah,
the first
sorry, I
time?
was just looking at it for a second. I haven't
Is this
messed
the
with
Pro?
The,
No.
no, it's the Air. What is this?
Yeah,
the-
Air 2.
Yeah, it's nice.
iPad
It's
Air?
got good.
Yeah.
It's got good
It's just the
action.
iPad.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah,
It's got good action. You know what I mean?
Whoa, it's
You're
Well,
not. You don't have a
yeah,
fingertip.
You don't have
turns
the
out.
finger.
Oh,
You're not a
damn.
human being. Apparently, you're
vampire.
Splint. You're
Until
not
next
Splint.
time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Splint.